Hello friends, welcome back to my new video. In this video, I have come up with another chess trap known as the legal smith. This chess trap is important for every player to know whether he or she is intermediate or beginner player. Let's go. Here, starting with e4, the king's pawn game, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and then bishop to c4, the Italian game. And here there are many replies to that Italian game. Either the bishop can come to c5, or after bishop to c4 the knight can come to f6, or many things can happen. But after bishop to c4, if the player with the black pieces plays d6, then he is just wanting to place this bishop over to the g4 square, and he wants to pin this knight to the queen. So you will just ignore this pin and just play knight to c3, developing your piece, and black will go with the plan, placing the bishop to g4. After bishop to g4, mostly the players playing this game would play the move h3, right? And this is the best move over here. They don't like this bishop at the g4 square. They want to kick it out from here. And now black has four options. Black can put the bishop to e6, black can put the bishop to d7, he can also put the bishop to h5, or he can even take this knight, right? So let's look at the first option. What if black just decides to put the bishop on e6? Then you can gladly take the bishop, then pawn takes, and you can see this structure of pawn, which is very bad for black. The central structure is very bad, and black has only developed one piece, which is the knight, right? No other piece has been developed. And here, look at the position of white. White is also ready to castle. He is also ready to push the d4, the d pawn to d4, and break at the center. And then he can also put this bishop out on the diagonal, also attack the queen, and many ideas. And so here white is totally better in this position. This position should be pretty easy for you to win as white. So you saw that bishop to e6 is not a good option for black, right? What if black decides to take this knight instead? Then you can simply take this bishop. Now you have a checkmate threat on the f7 square, and this should be dealt with, right? And there are many ways. Either the knight can come in, either the pawn can be pushed, but the best way over here to deal with this checkmate is to put the queen to d7 or even to e7. It doesn't matter, but then you can easily short castle, and then you are pretty good. Here your king has castled only one piece, that is this bishop on c1 is not developed. Three pieces are developed, and this queen is in a pretty aggressive position. And now see this queen of black. Here black is also ready to long castle. He can long castle, but just look at these three pieces, right? This rook, this knight, and this bishop. These three pieces on the king side, they are all sleeping in their cabins, right? They are not even activated. So this should not be a good game for black. White can easily win this game if he has some attacking gameplays. He should not play this move that I'm going to show you. He should not play queen to f6. He should not offer a queen exchange, right? Then you can get draw, or you can even get defeated, right? So after this you should think about some tactical ideas like bishop to b5, etc, etc. But let's see, after h3, what if black decides to go on h5, right? But this is a pretty bad move for black. This is actually a blunder on the part of black. Here mostly people do not know this trap, and they make the mistake of playing the move g4. They think that they are just attack this bishop, but this bishop will just go back to g6, and they have ruined their chance to defeat black in just 8 moves, right? Just by playing a less aggressive move, they have ruined their chance of winning this game quickly, right? So after h3 and bishop to h5, what is the best move for white? What is the best way to continue as white? I'll just give you some time. to think about that move. So the best way to continue for white is to take this pawn on e5, and you will say, what, it is crazy, right? You're just giving away your queen for free, right? And you're even giving away a knight for free. Two pieces are hanging in one move, but actually this knight sacrifice is pretty good, and mostly players fall for the sacrifice. They just gobble up your queen and they are thinking that it's very good, and they have just won the game. They just think that white will resign on the next move, or he will resign right away, but there's no need to resign over here. You just have to play bishop capture on f7 check, and this is when they will be hit by shock that the king has only one square to go, that is to e7. No other square is remaining, and then you will unleash their horrors by playing the move knight to d5, a beautiful checkmate. Two knights and a bishop to checkmate the black king in a pretty bad position. And see that this is just the 8th move and you have checkmated your opponent, right? So here, what if your opponent is a bit more good at playing chess and he knows that this is the legal's mate and he would not want to fall for the checkmate, right? So what if he does not take your queen, but instead he takes this knight, right? Even this knight on e5 is hanging. So what if he takes this knight with the pawn? Then you don't have to worry, because then you will just take this bishop, and then you also have a checkmate threat, right? You also have a checkmate threat on f7, and that is pretty bad, and your opponent will have to play g6 by force because he has to defend against the checkmate, right? Then you can just play queen to f3 back, and here again you are giving a checkmate threat, so he'll just have to play something like queen to d7 supporting this pawn. Then you can just short castle and you can go on with the game. So after this knight captures on e5, what if he decides to take the knight with the knight? There are two ways of taking this knight. He can either take it with the pawn or the knight. What if he decides to take it with the knight? Knight captures knight, and this is having a logic, right? After knight captures knight, he also wants to take this bishop on c4 and get material up, but don't worry, he won't be able to do that, because after queen captures on h5, and if he tries to take this bishop and he feels that he's material up and white would resign, he's pretty wrong, because then you'll just play queen to b5 check, forking the king, and after this fork, black will have no option but to either play c6 or just defend with the queen. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just you'll just take the knight, and just look at this position. Black has nothing developed, and white is also ready to short castle right on the next move, and so black will be in trouble because white has two pieces developed, the queen and the knight, and he can even push d4 in the future so that he can get a great center. And just look at these pieces, the bishop, the knight and the rook, and queen and a rook. Nothing is out of their original squares, so they should be pretty good for white on the base of development. So after this, you saw that white is winning in every variation in the legal's mate. But what if you are black and you got stuck up with this position and you want to get rid of that position, right? After h3, what if, just let's just change the side, right? What if you are black and you don't want to fall for this trap, right? Then you'll just have to play the best move here for black, which is bishop to d7, a retreating move, but that's the best move, because after bishop to d7, your opponent has no threats possible. He can surely can castle, but then you can also place your knight to f6, and you are pretty good over here. You are not gonna get checkmate in 8 moves, and you can carry on this game, get a draw, or even win this game as black, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's see the legal trap again. I love that trap. After h3, bishop to h5, knight captures on e5, bishop captures queen, then bishop captures f7 check, king to e7, and knight to d5 checkmate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye friends.